Good afternoon, my name is Michael Cardenas, an international business student, and then I present the final report on the toy import project for the company Dima Toys S.A. In the present world, we seek to generate a deep analysis from a capital budget and analyzing the types of rights that can occur when entering an international market. This in order to determine the viability of the project for the company. A total analysis is also generated taking into account the developments of the previous gates with the aim of having a broad vision and a budget that the corporates and generates value in the financial situation of the company. This through a deep analysis in at the variables that can be affected. In the present world, we seek to generate a deep analysis from a capital budget and analyzing the types of rights that can occur when entering a new international market. This in order to determine viability of the project for the company. A total analysis is also generated taking into account the develops of the previous gates going with the aim of having a broad vision and advocate that corroborates and generates value in the financial situation of the company. This through a deep analysis in how the variables that can be affected. The development of with this world sits to under the financial development for a company with international negotiation. This taking into account the different impacts that might occur due to globalization and all the characteristics that interview there, as well as seen to have a big vision of the different relations of securities or capital makes depending on the process in which the different international transactions will intervene, as well as change rates and exchange regimes depending of the country with which the negotiation will reach stabilization. By means of a practical example, it is shown to terminate the exchange risks that exist within an international negotiation and likewise it seeks to establish the different methods of mitigating in order to obtain the best financial results for a company with methods and strategy of financial protection. This report establishes a result of financial and economic analysis, seeking to establish the feasibility of importing toys to Colombia through the company Dima Juguetes S.A. Support bid methods and models previously established in international finance. Comparative advantage can be related to the net to the country international visits to the extent that the country start advantage of this advantage when exporting goods or services. For example, as mentioned in the GIF text, the United States and Japan have a comparative advantage over the two main countries in manufacture of technology, so it will be easier for them to export these products and else generate higher profits to 14. Taking into account the comparative bench held to carry our international business looking for opportunities in foreign markets. For example, in the case of the selected company, Dimas Toys, there is a comparative bench in this production system and brand protection that it has been able to carry owing the mercury its extensive experience in generating optimal business conduct that can be notably differential with the competition. That's thanks to this its core being be facilitate said international business. economic and political condition of the Colombia market. Economy. Although the economic crisis COVID-19 affect our country, Colombia managed the situation thoroughly, generating a recovery than in the medium to reach the economic records. However, it is important to mention that there are conditions unfavorable economic condition that the company face. One of these is the growing inflammation, which causes an increase in price, which causes consumption to a crash. So that the ability to pay of the people decrease, but it causes purchase to be reduced to fully necessary goods, so the company is directly affected, which will directly affect the company's valuation since it will be reducing its growth projection and its attractiveness to investors. This can occur in all countries, so it is economic condition that's unfair and marks because it will directly affect directly to investors. What would like to enter this market since than demand decreases? The company income will be affected. It is also important to mention that they also has had a considerable devaluation, which means that our local concurrency increasingly world leads. So it can also be determined in favorable economic condition that Colombia is going trying to finish. It is important to mention that today Colombia is going through generating uncertainty with discount investor policies. One favorable condition that can occur in the political sphere and that influence both performance and evaluation in the company is what is as before. The uncertainty and more so now in electoral times on many occasions, investor and afraid of the type of government that comes to power as seen in the country of Venezuela. This is due to the fact that different entry barriers can be generated if political risks in the country. Investor will not want to invest only, and this will be detrimental to companies since, as mentioned about, the valuation will be affected because a company always seek investing in order to the investment in order to grow. And analysis of international machines with the United States. Advantage: the political range is minimal due to the different agreements between the two governments that facilitate negotiation between the two countries, in addition to having good international relations between them. Comparative advantages in this production system and a value chain thanks to its much in higher quality and innovative products could be imported for its market. In this advantage, the exchange rates, the United States having the strong currency would have greater power over the company, in addition to the fact that every day the Colombian pesos values against the dollar, which could lead to profitability. Taking into about the dividend could be found in the price of the products. Taking into account the value of the foreign currency, it will make the price of the import products more expensive. So this will have to sold at the higher price and directly affect the consumer. According the projection made to the in 12 months, the financial cash to 12 months will have a considerable increase, but the initial investment. Their rate for the company, according to a price analysis, it's 7.27. According to this, the company is able to be financed with large generous liabilities. Since it is the labs experiencing so and therefore it will have less economic on the company. Exchange rate. Exchange rate will be referred to the dollar according to the theorem of the moment equivalent 3,946 purchase of the dollar, 3,600 sale of the dollar, 3,982. Analysis of the effects of bullying and agent corrections. If we make an agreement tone, a forward financial instrument, a long-term contract would be made according to pay for the purchase of the products to be imported for the United States to Colombia, sending a payment day of 90 days for a fixed price of the dollar for a front amount, so the costs of the company can be fixed over time. In the same way, which it is contract we can fit on the 7 days, or such as the 1 year fixed 10 contracted with fit at the rate company and fits each activity that you want to carry or for the purchase of importance and supplies from the same supplier, but this also has more limitation when carrying a forward contract. It allows the rise to hits exchange rates, helping to see the costs of the company, improving monthly fluctuation in order to obtain merchandise in the warehouse at a payment instantly with the same value la moneda for this time. And thus time la platform imports or whatever is needed to pay for this important in team. There is got financial muscle to do cover an advanced pace of imports. Taking into account that the exchange rate is higher than in 2019, it will be much more beneficial to make to the contract at the current rate and fits during the times of the grain. They were for 3 months. It is a bit different considering that the contract will be agreed for 1 year. See, this percentage difference will be more than 0.011%. Inflation and the relation rate depression. The relation of the base increase inflation in two ways. One, it makes import products more expensive. Two, increase the income or exported, and this increases the pressure on price. The relation of the price makes a kilogram of cereal that costs 9,625 pesos now costs 10,298 pesos. As will happen with any imported products for which inflation will increase. The more production imported into the country, there are more inflation. The income of exports goes for 18,500 million pesos to 41,000 and 1,395 million, which prices increase their income within the country with sharing the demand curve to the right increasing price over price. When the peso is devalued, the cost of imports increase, and when there a revaluation of the peso, the cost of import in peso decrease. If there a devaluation of the the subsidiary will receive more money in pesos for the sale if there is a relation of the peso. The subsidiary will raise less pesos for the sale when in converts the money binding pesos to be able to save them in the country. Due the evaluation of the peso, the increase in the pesos will be affect the when is converted into dollars of the country. There is if there is a relation of the peso, the increase in income will be greater. As can be seen in the cash flow, and taking into account a 3% increase in sales, it can be concluded that the option of opening a subsidiary in the chosen country, United States, brings with the positive benefits in the financial state of the company. In addition, the charts for credit sales that will be made must also be taken into account. We consider that as a final analysis for the expansion project of the company. When opening of a subsidiary, the exchange rate must be taken into account. How we bear, it is seen that the project has a high viability. Taking into account in the independence capacity of the company, we see that the company can be financed by loans. It is where the unit since its financial independence states is favorable. Thank you.